what would it look like to offer myself the same end of day grace? To say to myself, it's okay that you're tired. You don't have to earn rest. You did enough for today. These parenting instincts aren't just strategies for our kids, they're deeply wise responses to the rhythm of the day, and they're just as relevant to us. Welcome to the Choose Better Thoughts podcast. I'm Amanda Doyle, certified life and leadership coach, here to help high achieving women use practical mindset tools to live your complex life with more ease. Each week, you'll learn how to lead with more confidence at work, stay regulated and present in parenting, and actually enjoy the life that you've worked so hard to build. So pop in your earbuds and let's do some coaching. So I am wondering, have you ever noticed if or how differently you show up for your kids in the morning versus the evening? For me, in the morning, it's like, let's go. Where are your shoes? Not those shoes. And in the evening, it's more like, okay, one more story, two more. That's fine. There's structure on one end and then a softness on the other. There's firmness at 7 a.m. and then patience at 7 p.m. Focus, then feeling. Direction, then grace. And the thing is, this shift we make as parents is not random. It's not us being inconsistent or not staying balanced. It's actually a reflection of how our bodies, brains, and nervous systems are designed to move through the day. In the morning, our energy is naturally sharp. Cortisol spikes to help us wake up and move forward. It's when the planning part of our brain is most online. By evening, that drive is gone. We're coming down. The emotional brain is louder, the filter is thinner, and everything feels a little more tender. We respond to that shift for our kids, usually without even thinking about it. We adjust. We guide in the morning, we soothe at night. This all might sound really obvious, but I am wondering if you do the same thing for yourself. This episode is about that question. What if the same instincts we trust in parenting, the morning clarity and the nighttime compassion, were the exact cues we needed for self-care too? So let's talk about how the way you parent might be a mirror for how you're meant to care for yourself, and how your body might already be showing you the rhythm you're allowed to follow. This isn't about fixing your morning routine or perfecting your bedtime. It's about listening, about mothering yourself, if you will, at both ends of the day. So here's where I want to zoom in, not on your planner or your calendar app, but on your actual body. Because this contrast you feel on edge in the morning, unraveling by night, it's not just a to-do list. It's actual chemistry. It's rhythm. Your nervous system is working exactly as designed. As I said, in the morning, your cortisol naturally spikes. This is not a stress response. It's a wake-up hormone. It's designed to activate your brain, get your feet on the ground, move you into action. There's also more activity in your prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain that organizes and plans and decides. So it makes sense that mornings are when you feel most in control or most under pressure to be in control. This is why so many of us default to structure and urgency in the morning. We're biologically primed for it. But without intention, without even 5 seconds of checking in with ourselves, that same cortisol spike just turns into reactivity, barking orders or mental spinning or rushing the whole house into the day without a breath. And then evening hits. Your energy has dropped. Your executive brain is winding down. The part of you that makes decisions has been working all day and is frankly done. Meanwhile, the emotional brain, your amygdala, is still wide awake. That's why things feel louder at night, literally feel louder. You remember what you forgot. Maybe you get snippy, or maybe you just cry over a sticky bowl in the sink. And it's not because you're a mess, it's because your body is slowing down and all the things you powered through earlier are finally catching up. This is also when other stuff shows up too: guilt, overthinking, that low grade shame hum about how much you did or didn't get done. It's not failure, it's fatigue. You're not doing anything wrong, and your brain isn't doing anything wrong. This is what it means to be a human woman moving through a full day, especially when you're responsible for keeping little people alive and managing your own mind. Your rhythms aren't broken, they're really intelligent. They're showing you exactly what you need if you're willing to listen. So here's the part I was really thinking about the other day. I was watching the way I was showing up for my kids, not in a really big intentional way, but in the small automatic moments, these in between moments. In the morning, I'm giving direction, I'm setting the tone. Okay, let's get shoes on. Yes, of course, you can wear the sparkly socks. Where's your water bottle? I'm anticipating needs. I'm managing transitions. I'm moving the energy forward. And then at night, everything changes. It's more like, okay, take a breath. Let's sit here for a minute. Do you want the nightlight on? It's not about movement anymore. It's about comfort and it's about exhale. I instinctively offer structure in the morning and space in the evening as a mom. And then I was thinking, what if this same instinct applies to me too? What if the way I mother them is the same way I need to mother myself? In the morning, I don't expect my kids to figure it all out on their own. I guide them, I give them language, I set them up for the day. I give them what they need before they know how to ask for it. And yet, I often expect myself to spring out of bed and go straight into high functioning mode without a breath, without grounding, without a single kind word. So, what would it look like to bring that same steady leadership inward? To say to myself, let's take a breath. This is what we're focusing on first. You don't need to do it all at once. And in the evening, I don't expect my kids to be super efficient or upbeat. I expect them to fall apart a little. That's part of the rhythm. I meet their emotions without trying to fix them. I lower the lights. I hold the space. I let them be tired. And yet I often treat myself like I should be just as productive, just as regulated, just as motivated as I was 10 hours ago. So, what would it look like to offer myself the same end of day grace? To say to myself, it's okay that you're tired. You don't have to earn rest. You did enough for today. These parenting instincts aren't just strategies for our kids, they're deeply wise responses to the rhythm of the day, and they're just as relevant to us. So the truth is, you already know how to support someone through a day's arc. You already do it every day. The question is, maybe are you willing to be that kind of presence for yourself too? So, when you use a self coaching model as often as I do, you start to catch how your thoughts shift in very specific patterns, especially at the bookends of the day. And once you see it, it's hard to unsee it. Morning thoughts often sound like, I'm already behind, there's too much to do, I need to start strong. And while those might seem like helpful thoughts, motivating even, they usually produce a feeling more like pressure than momentum. And from pressure, we don't usually move intentionally. We hustle and we push and we micromanage and we overfunction. And then we wonder why we feel burned out by 9 a.m. So if we were to plug this into the coaching model, our circumstance would be that it's 7:14 a.m. And maybe my subconscious thought triggered by that circumstance is that I'm already behind. And then that thought creates a feeling in my body of physical pressure. And from that feeling, the actions I take are rushing, snapping at the kids, forgetting things, rewriting the to-do list. And the result I create for myself is an experience of falling behind, confirming my belief that I'm already behind. I think it's the clock that's making me feel like I'm behind, but it's actually my story I'm telling myself that I'm already behind, even though the only real circumstance is that the day just started. And then come the evening thoughts. For me, they sound like this: I didn't get enough done. I should have handled that better. I still haven't figured this out. These kinds of thoughts do not lead to insight, they lead to shame. And from shame, most of us tend to buffer, scroll, snack, spiral, or we go quiet and we beat ourselves up in our head. So if we plug this into the self-coaching model, the circumstance, the fact is that it's 8:56 p.m. This is triggering my thought, I didn't do enough today. When I believe this thought, I feel defeated in my body. And when I feel defeated in my body, it feels the action of mentally reviewing the day, of criticizing myself, of withdrawing. And these actions create the result in my life that I make it harder to acknowledge what I did do, confirming my story that I didn't do enough today. It's so subtle, but so predictable. We shape the entire tone of our day with a few default thoughts, and we pass those same expectations down to ourselves every single morning and night. Now imagine just for a minute shifting the thought just a few degrees. In the morning, from I'm already behind to let's begin with what matters most. You're not pretending that you have hours of free time. You're simply offering your brain a focused anchor, one clear place to start. In the evening, it's a shift from I didn't do enough to I met my limits, and that's allowed. This thought is not permission to opt out of your life or not improve or not take responsibility. It's permission to be a human inside of your life. The point here is not to find a perfect affirmation. It's to gently question, are these thoughts actually helping me care for myself right now? And if they're not, can I offer myself a better one that does? Just like I would do if I were talking to my child, just like I already know how to do. So again, we don't need more perfect morning routines and we don't need more sleep hacks or a 10-step wind down checklist. I mean, those things are great, but you don't need them. Really, what I'm offering here, especially as women, especially as mothers, is to bring more intentionality to how we're already moving through the day, to stop expecting ourselves to show up the same way at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., and instead work with the rhythm that's already happening. So let's talk about what that might actually look like in real life. So, in the morning, start with structure and self leadership. You're already in motion. The goal is not to stop the momentum, it's to direct it. Here's a couple things that might help. Maybe a 1 minute pause before the house wakes up, even if it's just hand on heart or breath in the kitchen. A grounding question can help. What energy do I want to bring into the next hour? Or maybe a micro decision ritual. Choose your first thing, not 5 things you do in the morning, but just the first thing. One intention, one next step. Maybe it's listing 10 things you're grateful for as you lay in your bed. This isn't your whole day plan. This is your anchor. Maybe it's a morning mantra that you would offer a child. We're not rushing, we're beginning. Because often what we call rush is just scattered thought energy. You don't need to slow down to a crawl. You just need a starting point that includes you. And then in the evening, let's talk about regulation and grace. By night, you are unraveling, not in a bad way, in a true way. The body is downshifting, the emotions are surfacing. This is the part where presence matters more than performance. So try this. How about one small turn down ritual for yourself, just like you would do for your child? Not because it's cute, but because it signals to your brain and body you're allowed to soften. Maybe you put the phone down in a specific place one beat earlier. Maybe you change into softer clothes. Maybe you light a candle while you're brushing your teeth. Maybe you say the words out loud, I did enough today. Or it's a gentle check in. What am I feeling right now without trying to fix it? If the answer is sad, disappointed, or worn out, that's okay. That's data. That's not a problem to solve before sleep. Or here's a release prompt that you can write down or say out loud. Here's what I carried. And then say what you carry throughout the day. Here's what I'm releasing. Here's what I forgive myself for tonight. End the day in relationship with yourself. You already know how to do this for your family. So now it's just about remembering how to do it for you too. And if you want support applying this in real time, if you want to stop just thinking about the ideas from the podcast and start living them, I would love to invite you into my coaching program. Each week, I actually teach a full training on how to apply the work from the podcast in your actual life, your mornings, your evenings, your relationship, your career. And then we coach through what comes up together. We're not just talking about change, we're doing it. We're gaining awareness, we're allowing our feelings, we're questioning old stories, and we're moving forward toward big aligned goals. Not from pressure, not from hustle, from clarity, from truth, from who we actually are. If you want support, structure, and a warm, honest community to walk this out with you, we're here. That's all I have for today, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Choose Better Thoughts podcast. If this episode gave you a new perspective, please pass it on to a friend or leave a quick review. It helps so much. And if you're ready to go deeper, this is exactly the kind of work we do inside my coaching program. I offer weekly live coaching, access to my full self-coaching course, and daily motivation in an intimate community. You can learn more at choosebetterthoughts.com. Until next time, remember, you are already enough, and change gets to feel good. You've got this.